going to be talking about the UK band Arctic Monkeys. Personally, I listened to them a lot during my emo, pale, grunge, Tumblr phase in high school, but that was before I knew anything about music theory. Now that I've been looking back on their songs recently, I've realized, wow, they're doing some really cool stuff theory-wise. So let's dive into it. First, let's talk about their song 505. I'm going back to 505. This song uses all the white keys on a piano, so you'd think the song is in C major or perhaps even A minor, but it's actually in neither of those. 505 is in D Dorian mode. This means that it's not technically in a conventional major or minor key. Dorian mode is just one of the modes that take our usual major and minor scales and add a little bit of spice to them. If you want to learn more about all the modes, you're in luck. We already made a video all about modes. I'll link it in the description. But anyway, the key factor of what makes a mode is what notes are being changed in the scale it's referring to. A mode takes the major scale it's referring to and shifts certain notes up or down. Dorian mode, for example, takes the 3rd and 7th notes of the major scale it's referring to and lowers them one semitone. So, D Dorian takes the D major scale and lowers the 3rd and 7th notes of that scale, and the 3rd and 7th notes of the D major scale so happen to be the only black keys in the scale, F sharp and C sharp. This results in a scale with all white keys, like the C major scale. But what's the big difference between C major and D Dorian? Why do we have to have different names for the same group of notes? Well, finding the key of a song has to do with its chord progression and melodies. And the key factor here is that C major and D Dorian have different root notes, meaning they start on different notes. So let's look at the chord progression first. It's basically just two chords, D minor and E minor. Let's also look at the bass line of the song. It starts by outlining a D minor chord. Then it outlines a little bit of an E minor chord. The progression never hits a C major chord. This implies that the song's chord progression is resolving on that D minor chord. The song never goes down to C. Modal songs are difficult to write because you can't get too complicated with the chord progressions. If you do start to get too complicated with the chord progressions, then they'll start to sound more major or minor instead. This song's 2-chord D minor to E minor chord progression is a great example of this. Now let's talk about the vocal melody. He basically sings the same melody throughout the song. This melody starts on the A note, which is the 5th note of the D Dorian scale. The 5th note of a scale is called the dominant. It's the 2nd most stable note in a scale and is considered the 2nd most important chord in any key. The role of the dominant chord in music is typically to provide a sense of tension that wants to be resolved by the root really badly. One of the guitar melodies actually resolves on the A note. But Devin, why does that tell us that the song is in D Dorian? Wouldn't that just make it in A minor? Great question. This guitar melody always ends on the A note when the chord progression is on the D minor chord. This serves as the 5th or the dominant, especially since it's paired with that D minor chord. You can tell that the home base of this song is the D note. If the song was in C major, these would all end on a C instead. Using scales other than the standard major and minor ones can really make your song stand out. Now let's talk about the Arctic Monkeys' hit song, Do I Wanna Know? Do I wanna know if this feeling flows both ways? But before we get into this freaking banger, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to Songpsych. It's totally free and you can unsub at any time. But if you're enjoying this video, you'll want to stick around. There's something interesting going on in the song's structure. At first, the song follows the typical verse, pre-chorus, chorus structure that's been used in countless rock and pop songs. Have you got color in your cheeks? Do I wanna know if this feeling flows both ways? Crawling back to you with a thought of calling That is until after the second chorus. You would think that a bridge would follow the second chorus, but instead, the song dives back into another pre-chorus. That's a pretty rare choice, especially in mainstream standards. But wait, there's more. Following this pre-chorus is another pre-chorus and chorus hybrid. Do I wanna know? Tobes big and yours to fall, sad to see you go. If I thought of Con and Dawn. They combine the chorus and the pre-chorus into this cool call and response like melody. They literally take the catchiest, most infectious parts of both sections of the song and mash them together in this freaking mega payoff. At the end of the song, this is such an effective way to combine predictability and unpredictability in a song. It's easy for us to follow along, but it also surprises us at the same time. There are tons of elements that make Arctic Monkeys great. These are just my two favorite songs by them. Well, what artists do you want us to talk about next? Leave a comment now. Thanks.